वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ नमः शिवाय, 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय। हर नमः पार्वतीपतये, हर हर महादेव शंभो शंकर। श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। In the earlier class we have started Dhanyashtakam written by Pujya Aadi Shankaraacharyaji. We have seen the meaning of Dhanyashtakam, that which is consisting of 8 verses about blessed person, and we have seen the inner meaning of first sloka. We have discussed about blessed person. Who is the blessed person? How he became blessed person. In the first sloka, it is said that is the supreme knowledge that which quietens the senses, and that is worthy of knowing the knowledge, that which is the theme ascertained in the Upanishads. Who are the blessed people? They said, Te dhanya bhuvi paramartha nischitehaha. They are the blessed people in this world, those who are striving hard to attain supreme reality. And sheshastu brahmanilaye paribhramantaha, remaining all other people just wandering in the delusion of this world, in this world. Once repeat after me this first sloka, then we will move to second sloka. Okay. Tajjnanam prashamakaram yedindriyanam, Tajjnanam prashamakaram yedindriyanam, Tajjneyam yedupanishatsu nischitartham, Tajjneyam yedupanishatsu nischitartham, Te dhanya bhuvi paramartha nischiteha, Te dhanya bhuvi paramartha nischiteha, Sheshastu brahmanilaye paribhramantaha, Sheshastu brahmanilaye paribhramantaha. Second sloka. Ādau vijitya vishayan madamoharaga, Ādau vijitya vishayan madamoharaga, Dveshadishetruganamākrutayogarajyāh, Dveshadishetruganamākrutayogarajyāh, Jnātvā matam samanubhūya parātmavidya, Jnātvā matam samanubhūya parātmavidya, Kāntā sukham vanagruhe vicharanti dhanyāh, Kāntā sukham vanagruhe vicharanti dhanyāh. One who is having dispassion and discriminative power, one who is having jnana, one who is having strong desire to know about Brahma Tattva, and one who realized that self is the blessed person. And after realization, also having supreme love towards Bhagwan and serving this entire world, seeing everywhere his own self, indeed, he is the realized person. If all of us, we want to become like that, if we want to become blessed person, what kind of practices should be done? So here in the second sloka, it is said, first, all of us, we should have self-control. We should have control over our senses. So here it is said, Ado Vijitya Vishayan Mada Moha Raga. First we will see word meaning. Ado means in the beginning. All spiritual seekers, in the beginning, what kind of sadhana should be done? It is said, Vijitya Vishayan. Vishayan means sense objects, plural. Vijitya, having conquered, having subdued, having control over them. Ado Vijitya Vishayan. Here Vishayan means Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Sound, etc. So continuously all of us, we are perceiving these sense objects. When we get that information, our mind and intellect, they are responding. So here it is said, first we should have control over Vishayas. We will see inner meaning afterwards. So, Ada Vijitya Vishayan, Mada, Moha, Raga, Dvesha, Adi, Shetru, Ganam. Ganam means the group, host. Shetru Ganam. All of us, we are having so many enemies, not outside enemies. Inside enemies are there. Here a long list has been given. Mada, Moha, Raga, Dvesha, Adi. Adi means etc. Mada means arrogance. Moha means delusion or infatuation, you can say. Moha. Raga means likes, extreme likes. Dvesha, dislikes, extreme dislikes. Adi, etc. Raga, Dvesha, Adi. Shetru Ganam, the host of enemies, the group of enemies. Shetru means Shatanat iti Shetru, one who is continuously giving trouble to us, one who is persecuting, one who is torturing. He is called Shetru. Shetru Ganam, not only one enemy, so many enemies. All these enemies, what they are doing, they are obstructing us to realize our true nature. So first, all seekers, all of us, we have to conquer Vishayas. Because of Vishayas only, all these Shetrugana, all Shetrus will be there. If we are having control over Vishayas, then easily we can conquer all these enemies. Dvesha Adi Shetru Ganam Ahruta Yoga Rajyaha. Ahruta Yoga Rajyaha means those who have gained of or gained or conquered, we can say, ahruta. Yoga rajyaha. Rajya means kingdom. Yoga rajya means kingdom of yoga. Ado vijitya vishayan madamoha raga dveshadi shetruganam ahruta yoga rajyaha. Next. Nyatva, having known. Matam. Here matam means not opinion. Here matam means truth. Please remember this one. Matam means truth, supreme reality. Nyatva matam. Samanubhuya. Samanubhuya means experiencing joy, enjoying. Paratma Vidya. Paratma Vidya, supreme knowledge, spiritual knowledge, that which is revealing the higher nature of Brahman. That which is revealing truth, our true identity, is called Paratma Vidya. Kanta Sukham Vanagruhe Vicharanti Dhanyaha. Dhanyaha, blessed people. Kanta Sukham. After realizing the truth, they will be experiencing joy of wife. What is this? Here, who is Kanta? Paratma Vidya is Kanta. Spiritual knowledge is compared here with Kanta. Vanagruhe Vicharanti. Vicharanti, they will be staying, they will be living in the forest. Vanagruhe. For them, forest is considered as home, house. Beautiful comparison. Because generally, all of us will be thinking when we will be having our own house and good relationships with people, wife, children, friends, when all of them, they are around us, they are loving us, caring us, having concern for us. So that time, all of us will be feeling very happy, very happy. Yes, of course, there is joy in all these kind of relationships, but one who gives up everything, one who renounces everything, for them more joy will be there. Even we cannot say more joy, it's a blissful state. When they give up everything, how they will get happiness? Here it is said, for them happiness is not coming from outside. They realize the source of happiness within themselves. So this Paratma Vidya is giving so much happiness. It's not what you call, mind is not asking for anything else outside. All of us also, when we will be listening, when we are listening all these scriptures, we feel one kind of joy in our heart. Yes. When continuously we'll be listening this Vedanta, that Rasaswada will be there. Few people, they will be saying this Vedanta, this Paratma, Vidya, all these things are just very dry. In Sannyasa, there is no joy at all. So Vairagya, they will be saying. But a real joy, a real happiness is there in Vedanta, in Sannyasa only. Because outside joy, happiness is limited and depending on so many things, so many factors. When they come together, then only we can experience little bit of happiness and joy. to bring all factors together to experience that joy, how much effort we are putting forth. But to experience this higher joy, spiritual happiness, first and foremost thing should be done by the seekers is we have to control our senses. Here it is said, Ado Vijitya Vishayan, after having conquered the Vishayas and the Shatrugana, Moharaga, etc. Ahruta Yoga Rajaha, those who have conquered the kingdom of yoga, Nyatva Matam, having realized the truth, Samanubhuya Paratma Vidya, enjoying the self-knowledge, Kanta Sukham, is like experiencing the company of wife, and Vanagruhe Vicharanti, those who are staying in the forest, considering that is own house, Vicharanti, Dhanyaha, they are the blessed people. So to become blessed person, seekers, they have to practice all these sadhanas. So here, when it is said Ado Vijitya Vishayan means all of us, we cannot close all the time our senses. How can we stop Vishayas entering into our system? How long can we close our eyes, ears, etc.? Is it possible? No. Then how is it possible to conquer all these Vishayas? Practically, is it possible or not? Yes, it is possible. Here, when it is said we have to conquer Vishayas, we should not run away from them. That will be escapism. And it is impossible also. We cannot close our senses. So here, conquering Vishayas means coming out from the bondage of Vishayas. Means we should not be bound by them. Our happiness should not depend upon them. Releasing ourselves from the clutches of worldly kind of objects. So having freedom is conquering Vishayas. In Bhagavad Gita also, you might have heard this one. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha Sangasteshu Pajayate Sanghat Sanjayate Kamaha Kamat Krodho Bhijayate Krodhat Bhavati Sammohaha Sammohat Smruti Vibhramaha Smruti Bhramshat Buddhinashaha Buddhinashat Pranashyati. When we continuously thinking about sense objects, those things will create in our mind impressions, and because of them desire will be arising. When desire will arise in the mind, if it will become irresistible, then person will be ready to do anything to fulfill that desire. He may act in adharmic way also to fulfill that desire. So when that desire will not be fulfilled, when it will be obstructed, then anger will arise in his mind. When too much anger, wrath will be there, that person will lose thinking power. Discrimination power will not be there. Smruti Bhramshat Buddhinashaha Buddhinasha Pranashyati. When person will lose his thinking power, he will act like animal in this world. Pranashyati. He will perish. He will spoil his life. So all these things will start from continuously thinking about the Vishayas. So whenever we see the objects, whenever we are perceiving all these sense objects, we should be very alert. All these things, when we experience, they will create impressions in our minds. So many vasanas will be created. So when these vishayas will be perceiving, these things will create raga or dvesha. There it is said mada. Mada means arrogance. I am superior to others. How can we conquer this mada? So many practices are there. When we compare with others, we are saying we are superior to them based on worldly kind of things. But when we compare with others, those who are superior to us, then our ego will come down. And one more thing, Bhagwan is there. Because of him only we are getting everything. Wealth, name and fame, knowledge, everything. So because of which we are having arrogance, we have to think from where we got it. On our own, we cannot get anything. So by God's and Guru Parampara's grace, we are having all these things. So thinking in this way, we can come out from this mother arrogance. When we are having humility, Bhagwan will be pleased a lot. He will bless us. See, having arrogance and having humility, all these things, exactly we cannot see outside. Sometimes we may be thinking like that, yes, he is very arrogant. But whether he is arrogant or he is having self-confidence, exactly we don't know. So sadhaka himself, he has to introspect. Is it arrogance or is it Atma Viswasa? Is it going to help to my sadhana or not? I have to think. Mada, Moha, Raga, Dvesha. All these Shatruganas should be conquered. And best way to conquer all these things is having good company. Having good company with Mahatmas. Because of satsang, so many good thoughts will be received by us, and slowly we will come to know what are the negative forces are there in us, what are the negative kind of emotions are there in us. So when we will be listening scriptures from Mahatmas, when we will be attending satsangs, pravachans, slowly we can understand our personality and slowly we can remove all these negativities from our mind. All negative kind of vasanas also will be exhausted when we will be doing spiritual sadhanas, having devotion for Bhagavan. Mada, Moha. Moha means delusion, infatuation. So when we'll be perceiving these Vishayas, they will create Moha. So this Moha, delusion or infatuation can be conquered by a right way of thinking and giving up false kind of fascination towards worldly objects. So when our mind is getting attached to something, we have to think, is it going to give permanent happiness? Is it going to help in my sadhana or not? This is the first and foremost thing, whatever we are perceiving. First we have to think, is it going to trouble us? Means, is it going to become obstacle in our sadhana or is it going to help to us to go near to Bhagavan, to become one with Bhagavan? Raga. From worldly people's standpoint, a raga word will be used in nice way. Raga, anuraga, it's like that. But raga also is considered as enemy. Here it is given in Shatrugana. So extreme likes, they will create hesitation in our mind, fear in our mind, and we will become slave. Whenever that mind is having that raga towards something, it's depending a lot to get happiness from that. That may be object or person. Without that, I cannot live. If person is saying like this, means he became slave to that object or person. So raga will create fear. Raga will create hesitation. That's why this enemy should be conquered. How can we conquer this raga? Attachment, extreme likes. For all these things, abhyasa and vairagya is required. Of course, it's true. To conquer this raga, whenever our mind is having extreme love or extreme likes towards something, again, we have to think. For spiritual seeker, each and every moment, he has to be very alert. For him, it's thinking, this vicharana is powerful weapon to remove all these enemies, inner enemies. Whenever that raga bhavana is there, we have to think like this. Is it going to be permanent or not? At present moment, it is giving a lot of joy, happiness. That's why my mind is attached to that. But is it going to be like that only? No. So ashashvata. It is not going to be permanent. In this ephemeral world, nothing will be permanent. Then how can I will be having that raga, attachment towards that? And one more thing, when we see the another side of that object or person, that raga will not be there. In this world, whatever we see, imperfections will be there. And this raga and vesha will be changing also. Today, towards something, we will be having raga, and after a few days, we may be having dvesha towards the same object or towards the same person. So this raga and dvesha also. This raga can be conquered when we turn our attention, when we turn our love towards Bhagwan. Easily we can come out from this raga. So we have to develop vairagya towards inferior kind of thing. First, we should know that is not worthy to be having, connecting with that one, or it is not worthy to be showing so much love. So really speaking, all these worldly kind of relationships based on this kind of thing only. When our mind is getting little bit happiness and joy, it will develop that raga. In the beginning, it will be very nice, but afterwards we'll come to know. We'll see. So this dvesha, when it comes to dvesha, how we can conquer this hatredness? Seeing Bhagwan in everyone, in everything, we can conquer dvesha. When we are studying scriptures, clearly it is said, in each and everything, Bhagavad Swarupa is there. Your own self is there. Madatma Sarva Bhutatma. So when we see our own self in others, we can conquer dvesha towards them. They may be having so many imperfections. They may not good people. They may be troubling us. They may be creating so many problems. But still, we should have the vision, higher vision. We have to see Bhagwan in our heart. See, when this raga, dvesha, all these negative things will be there in our mind will not be available to meditate upon Supreme Reality. We cannot do our sadhanas. So, Ado vijitya vishayan madamoha raga dveshadi shetruganam. First, in the beginning, having conquered all sense objects and all negative thoughts, negative emotions, ahruta yoga rajyaha. Yoga means seeing oneness in everything. Here Rajya word has been used, kingdom. So when, for example, when the king lost his kingdom because of enemies, here who are the enemies? Mada, Moha, Raga, etc. Kama, Krodha, Moha, Lobha, Mada, Matsarya, Arishatvarga, we say. So when that king, he lost his kingdom because of all these Shatrus, what he has to do? He has to become himself very strong. He has to gather strength again, and he has to conquer the enemies. Yes. And he has to get his own kingdom back. So here Ahruta Yoga Rajyaha means having conquered the kingdom, his own kingdom only. So in the same way, seeker also, all of us also, because of all these Shatrus, we lost our own kingdom of blissful state, moksha sthiti. We became ignorant people and wandering in this world. So when we conquer all these enemies, inner enemies, again, we will regain our own kingdom of liberation. Moksha Rajya, Atma Rajya will be gained. So we are the kings. We are the emperors. We are not slaves to anyone. When we become weak, our enemies will become strong. Yes. When we become more stronger than our enemies, easily we can conquer. In terms of kingdom, king, etc. Okay. Shankaraacharyaji, how beautifully is communicating. Wonderful thoughts. Nice. Jnatva matam, after conquering his own kingdom, Yoga Rajya, Jnatva matam, having known the truth, having realized the truth, matam, truth, samanubhuya paratma vidya kanta sukham vanagruhi vicharanti dhanya, that blessed person will be enjoying that spiritual knowledge. Even though he gave up everything, worldly kind of pleasures given up by him, but he is not losing anything. He is experiencing more blissful state. Comparing with worldly joys, it's much more. No words to say. He may not be having anything in this world. Generally, people will be thinking having so much wealth and having so many people, they will be so great like that. But this person may be Kaupina Dhari, but he is really blessed. Kaupina Vantaha. Khalu bhagyavantaha. I like very much this one. Kaupinavantaha khalu bhagyavantaha. He is really, really blessed person. Kantasukam vanagruhe vicharanti. Wherever he will be there, it's like kingdom only. Vanagruhe, where is his house? Forest. Then how he is getting happiness? Kantasukam, the company of wife, giving lot of joy. Who is that wife? Paratma Vidya, spiritual knowledge. If that realized person is woman, then they said Brahmajnanam, her husband. So much joy is there in Brahmavidya. Who are the blessed? Those who have conquered their senses, those who are not becoming slaves to the sense objects, Vishayas, those who have conquered inner enemies, Madamoha Raga Ityadi, those who have conquered their own kingdom of yoga. They are blessed indeed. Those who have realized the truth always will be reveling in that blissful state. By God and Guru Parampara's grace, may we attain such kind of beautiful, wonderful state. Even we cannot call it as a state, beyond words. Once again we will chant this sloka. Ado vijitya vishayan madamoharaga dveshadishetruganamahruta ज्ञात्वा मतं समनुभूय परात्मविद्या कान्तासुखं वनगृहे विचरन्ति धन्याः। ॐ लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।